Young music. Young music. Young music.
Oh, Josh, this is in there. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Hello, mate. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Back Post podcast. I'm a bit thrown off, right? Because one, I forgot to ask one of you guys to intro, so I've not thought about that. And I didn't ask you, so here we are. And also, YouTube hasn't sent out a notification for our stream yet, so I'm a bit put off by that.
Well, to be fair, I wasn't here, so it's a good job you didn't ask me.
Yeah, no, that would have been shambolic. But how are we doing, boys?
Yeah.
Same answer every time you ask.
Yeah, just doing all right.
It was good. I went for a beer, and then I realised that I needed to eat some chocolate, and then I ate an Easter egg, and then I realised oh yeah, it's the podcast is starting now, and I wandered back in, and then I realised I forgot my beer, so I had to go back and get it.
Yeah, no, it was just like it just went live. The countdown starts. It's quite a dramatical countdown, and there was just an empty chair.
I had pounds every time you said dramatical.
Did you mute me at one point, Jay?
Yeah, I heard you talking at some point, and I had to mute you.
I was singing.
Another quality podcast. No, but we haven't done it for a while. I'll hijack now and quickly intro because fuck Jay. We don't care about Jay today because the main reason we're doing this podcast is because it is Tottenham versus Manchester United, the Schalke Ajax derby, as everyone knows it. No, it's Tottenham Man United. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about obviously the fact that Man United have, we'll talk about Man United. They've proven me wrong this season. I still don't believe Solskjaer will win a title with them. Hello, Shapat. I believe that they've been a better team than Tottenham this season, better team than Chelsea this season. However, there's still frailties. Have they emotionally recovered from Tottenham 6, Manchester United 1? Who knows? We will see.
I like the way you've got early digs in there, really, haven't
Yeah.
you?
Yes, that's
You,
the
you
plan.
threw a couple
Have we started?
low
Or
blows
what?
there. I don't actually know. That's obviously the big game this weekend. We've looked around at the fixtures and gone, is it worth talking about anything else? But we'll talk about some other stuff later. We'll start with the big one. It's a big one on the channel because obviously these two. And where should we start, boys? Should we start at, you know what? We'll start with your game the other night, Adam. Granada 2-0. Hit me with it.
I mean, I didn't watch it. I only saw Rashford's goal. I only watched the highlights. I was in the car on the way home. But yeah, we wasn't great. We got quite lucky with the penalty at the end, I think. I think we've done enough to see him through. I think the point I was going to make, and I'll make further on, we haven't been playing too great too great at the moment, but we've been getting results. So that could play a factor into Sunday's game. But yeah, I think we're going to go through. Well, that's all I could really say from that game.
Nothing about the streaker, no? highlight of the game.
Like I said, I didn't watch the game, but I just saw the clip of that, and definitely the highlight of the game because we wasn't great. Finally, a bit of fun, you know.
Can we just talk about the fact that streaker was a spitting image of Adrian Pimento from Brooklyn?
Mate, second I saw him, I was like, it's Pimento. He's gone crazy, and he's ran onto the pitch. It's I see resemblances with us and the Sarri season. When the Europa League, we never played any well. We never did any good. We had opposition that weren't that great. We just beat them and moved on. It was such a boring drag till the very end. And I feel like that's something very similar to what you're going on right now, isn't it?
I think it's mirroring the last time we won the Europa League with Mourinho. We faced, obviously the biggest team we faced was probably Ajax in the final, but they've obviously improved a lot since then because they are in the other leg that trails to us. But yeah, I think we've got quite fortunate with our fixtures. Like I said, with the Milan game, we should be winning that. We did. We went through. Got Granada, probably. I mean, I don't really know the Spanish league that well, but I know they're not a fantastic team. Probably the best team.
Soldado.
Yeah, no.
Kennedy there.
Yeah.
He had 3 shots on target. A great game. But yeah, there's not much I can say about that. We should be winning that trophy.
You should.
Yeah.
And there were a weird point, and we'll try and move off the Europa League quite quickly, but the weird point of this competition now is, for me, that the team you want to avoid is Slavia Prague.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I said I'd want to avoid Arsenal, really.
Nah, you'd batter them out of Europe.
Proving me wrong because
batter them out of Europe. Like in the same, things like this, Tottenham, fuck things up. Liverpool rise to the occasion. Arsenal crumble in Europe every single time.
It can get to that same season that I just spoke about, the Sarri season. They crumbled in that final. I was shitting myself. Obviously, you don't want to lose a final to Arsenal in the Europa League. They did not bring anything to that table. So no, you might be right.
I saw a pundit the other day say, to be fair, Arsenal did struggle. I think this was against the Liverpool game. Arsenal did struggle, but they were without Smith Rowe. Fuck off. He's like 12. If you're struggling without him,
I can't say much. If we didn't have Mount, we'd struggle in most games. Fair enough. Yeah, I like that. That's the situation you're in. What was the game before that, Adam? What was your game before that? The Premier League game?
Beat Brighton 2-1.
Yeah, but again, we wasn't great. Like we should have scored a lot more. Don't get me wrong, but it was so slow again. It's like we really struggle against these little teams. It's been the story of Ollie's career, it seems. But I think the thing we are doing right, though, is we are getting the results. If you look back to the last time, if I go on the results here, because I can't remember, because I've got a shit memory. The last time we got beat in the Premier League...
It was Arsenal, wasn't it?
No, it was Sheffield. It was Sheffield, which was...
Sheffield.
end of January. We're on a decent run. We've got a lot of 0-0s. Don't get me wrong. But leading on to the game that I think I wanted to bring up before, it's two totally different teams now. Tottenham and United are two totally different teams since the last time we met. And I think it's going to be, I think a lot of people are worried because of the previous result, the reverse fixture. But for me, it's a completely different game. I think it needs to be forgotten about, and it needs to be a fresh set of players on task.
Can you do me a favour, Adam? Just put your hands by your head. Just like this. Just put your hands up so I can see them.
Yeah.
Yeah. How far off the top four do you think Tottenham are at this moment in time?
Points or positions?
Let's say points.
He's going to put his thing.
7.
2, Adam. We've had a shocking season, but actually we are breathing down the throat. Like everyone's had stumble. I think that you think we're not. I'm not saying we're brilliant, but I think you think we've dropped off more than we have.
No, you know what? I'm not slagging Tottenham off here. I'm really not. I'm saying that it's two completely different teams than what we saw 6 months ago. I still think Tottenham are a massive threat for top 4. Kane is dangerous as fuck. Anyone should be scared.
Isn't. I'm praying that this is the game that Son.
He's had a bit of a shitter. Don't get me wrong.
Mental, that is.
Yeah. In terms of the last game, if we do want to look at it from there, we've improved so much. Like the games that we've been losing and drawing against, we have won. Like the Brighton game, Arguably, we should have drew the first fixture against them with the Bruno penalty at the end. We are improving a lot.
When you say the end, you literally mean after the end.
Yeah, after full time.
I forgot about that.
The only thing that's worrying me, I hope that Leicester game isn't in our minds in terms of top teams around the top 4, because they taught us a lesson that game in the FA Cup. I know we're going back quite a bit now, but yeah, I think we just need to concentrate on at least picking a point up here, because we are in a position where we can afford to drop a couple points just for now.
Yeah. Well, just before you go there, Josh, I wanted to just bring it back slightly, because we were talking about, the previous games and leading up to this one, and your previous game was Newcastle, yeah? It feels like a while ago now. You've had a long time to rest off that result, but you say you're 2 points off the top 4. That should have been 3 there, surely.
It should have been more points off the top 4. But...
No, you should have won that one, surely.
Oh, right. Sorry. I thought you meant you were 2 points off top 4. You should be 3.
No. No, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no. It was one of those. It was a classic moment of after the result Chelsea had, which has kind of made me a little bit bulletproof to any of your questions over the past week.
I'm not going to say anything about that.
Yeah, we should have capitalised. But again, yes, we deserved to lose that game. Newcastle recorded the 3rd highest XG of the season, and their highest XG, Newcastle's highest XG since I think the 90s or something mental. We gave everything to Newcastle. They should have won it, to be honest. But at the same time, I've already said to you guys, Kane slaps the post, and to be honest, it's from a really bad Lamella pass. Kane slaps the post, and 20 seconds later, Arsenal loanee Joe Willock puts the scrappiest ball in. It's just another game this season for Tottenham where we can look back and yes, we've drawn and lost more than we would like, and it's our own fault. But every single Tottenham game at the moment, apart from a few howlers, seem to have rested on a knife edge and just tipped one way or the other. We could easily be 2nd. We could easily be 9th.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Just from the tiniest little decisions in games, from handballs that should have now are not given for handballs, for penalties that should never have been, for mad things. Even if you look at the Chelsea games, our 2 games are separated by a single penalty.
Mm-hmm.
That was admittedly a Stonewall penalty, but also should never happen on a football pitch because it was a stupid tackle. Anyway. So
in terms of the actual game, coming up on Sunday is what I do want to ask.
I've already said to Jay that I actually think we will lose this. I do. Even when Tottenham started beating United, we seem to trade blows every season. It's normally 3 points each, Tottenham and United. It seems to be pretty consistent every season. It's a bit of a 50-50, which is perfect, really, because it used to be about a 95-5 to United for a good 2 decades. So
you take it.
It's one of those counterintuitive ones where I do think if the best, Adam's going to disagree with me here, but I'd be curious to see what Jay thinks. I think if the best Tottenham could play turned up and played the best United could play, I think Tottenham would edge it, but I don't think that will happen.
It's a good question. Adam, you obviously you're going to disagree. You go while I think.
Yeah, I don't completely disagree. You've got a miles better striker than us. You've got
we've got a shit defence. We've got a far shitter defence. I'll concede that.
I was going to say your attack, their defence.
But saying that, Rashford's on 20 goals now this season. The first person to do it since Rooney for United. Our strikers.
That kind of says a little bit more about the state of United than it's good.
But the point I'm making is, I think on a whole, in terms of squads, ours is stronger than yours.
Squad, yes. First 11.
I think you've got a strong starting 11. Lloris is incredibly out of form. He's not got any confidence at all. He made a great double save against Newcastle. Apart from that, he's been absent for probably 6-7 games. We have got Henderson who's coming into it now. I think he's got 8 clean sheets in, it might be 11 games now, maybe probably more. I think the only player that betters United's team is Kane. But because Son is not doing what Son should be doing at the moment. I don't know why that is.
I think as a unit, if we click and Ndombele does what Ndombele can do, and gets that ball forward and drives forward, and I don't really know who I'd want to see on that right. That's the issue. I know
going back to your point, though, if you're saying that your starting 11 is on its day, let's say we're both on our day, if you're saying you could beat us, are you putting player to player next to each other for each team?
Let's really not get into that discussion now. Not because genuinely.
You did bring it up, though.
No, I know, but just because I think we've had this combined 11 chat so much, it becomes quite difficult. I think
it's 80% United.
Right. Look, yes, United.
No, I've got a question though.
Yeah.
If we do beat you, because I personally, I'm not sure if he's talking about
you both really, you don't think you're gonna win. What the fuck's gonna happen, man?
Should we just call it a draw?
It's gonna be a 3-3, isn't it?
This is essentially what my question is. If let's say we do beat you, do you think you can still get the top 4?
That was actually a point I was thinking of before. I think because of the state that we're in at the moment.
Someone's entering Josh's room
there. Because of the state that we're in at the moment. Sorry.
Take a minute. It's fine.
Take a sip, mate. All the time. We've got some good clips of Adam going, fuck off.
Because of the state we're in at the moment, I think this is Tottenham's last slip up that we're allowed. We actually have a pretty comfortable run in after this. It's okay looking forward. This is the last time we can slip up. I think it'll be a struggle if we do slip up. I think even if we win this game, it'll still be a massive struggle. But just because we've seen what can happen, Leicester can go out and lose to anyone. Chelsea can somehow get slapped up the way they did. Liverpool, yes, they beat Arsenal, but for me, that's not a test. what's going to, like, not a test. Obviously, we lost to Arsenal recently, but I mean, like, Tottenham Arsenal 50-50, Liverpool Arsenal. He wins on Liverpool every single time. It's, you know, that's just one of those things, isn't it? West Ham, who knows?
I have I've just put the table real quick just to give a bit more context to it. Like, you know, we slipped up. Well, I felt comfortably top floor. We slipped up. West Ham pulled in. You know, you like feel like you've been dwindling.
Sorry, we are 3 points off. I forgot about West Ham.
We Liverpool dropped off massively, but still there. Like you said, it's so tight. It's so unpredictable.
I think that you'll get Europa League comfortably.
I tell you what, here's something we haven't really discussed enough, and this is the most important thing of all. What's happening next season, guys? What's being introduced?
Is it the third?
The third Europa League.
That
whatever
is
it's called.
Biggest fear,
mate. Yeah, you don't want to be in that. You
if
just
we
don't.
start,
You'd rather not be in any.
If we lose the next 2 games, I'd be all up for Tottenham just plummeting. Fuck it, anything to avoid that next season.
You wouldn't
what
want to be
teams
in
go
that
into it? Is it?
I think it's
7
like
to
8th, maybe. Like Arsenal have a really, really big chance of getting into this Europa Conference League. You know, and it's different. If you're a team like Villa, you could maybe see a positive, but
it's a great opportunity for teams like Villa and. I mean,
it's
Everton,
made for
teams so I think
like
Everton would be
like a
disappointed.
Palace, or getting in there would be great for them. And that sounds patronising, but you know, especially when fans love away days, going to different places, like that's mental. That's cool. But if a club, I fear for Everton because that's meme central, isn't it? If Everton fall in, but if any of the top 6 fall into that Conference League, that is disaster, and that is actually, hopefully it gets abolished as quickly as it's made, because that's going to be a real fear for every single one of our clubs every season, because you're going to want to finish between 1st and 6th maybe, because 6 is normally enough for Europa. Then you're going to want to never finish between 7th and 10th, which therefore means that if your club starts to falter, you're going to be watching Chelsea and Man United, hoping for 11th in this really bizarre.
It'll be the last day of the season against Brighton, and they'll be going 1-0 up, and you'll be like, "Come on!"
And I know, and you know, there'll be people that say, "No, you should always want your team to win." I don't want my team to win if it means going into the Europa Conference. I don't want Tottenham
if Spurs won that, it'd be
in the Europa Conference.
Yeah.
What's the thing? Winning that competition is near to not winning anything, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's
the Audi Cup.
It'd be a hindrance as well. Like,
you're good at that though. You're good at the Audi Cup.
Yeah, but it'd just get in the way. You'd have a midweek game where you don't want one and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. And the damage it would do to your season is
and then just God forbid, that's going to be terrible. Great point there, Josh. That would be awful. Just quickly on last bit on your game, I want to just quickly know how you think it's actually going to pan out, like how you think both teams are going to play, and then obviously a dreaded score prediction. But let's not dwell on it for too much longer.
Shall I go first or at home?
Oh, go on then. Go on.
I think obviously Lloris, as much as you say, will start. The big question is over Sanchez in the defence. I know the 2 injuries Tottenham have, according to Mourinho, the entire squad could be injured and he wouldn't tell us, is Ben Davies and Doherty. And in a game like this, they're 2 players I want nowhere near the squad anyway, to be honest. So I'm fine with that. You see Reguilon slotting in there. I think Tanganga's pretty much our right back now, and he's been phenomenal, like from what I've seen. Joe Rodon has proven himself yet again. The big question mark, I do think he will play, but the big question mark is over Sanchez. He has every single attribute. And Adam will know what I mean when you talk about like centre-backs that like excite you. For instance, there's if his knees weren't made of paper, like Eric Bailly is the dream centre-back, isn't he?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, well, it's very different with Sanchez because it's not the fact that he's injured; it's the fact that he has everything. He's the fastest defender we have, I'd say. He's pretty decent on the ball because he's come through Ajax's system. He's strong, but he just like forgets. It's like he blacks out.
Very easy to switch off. Yeah.
It's like he suddenly just remembers he's on a football pitch. It's mad, and it costs us time and time again. Even when he has the best game, you always have to have a caveat for the one Davinson Sanchez mistake that there may be.
Yeah.
And it's so frustrating because it is kind of the same with Bailly, because you know you've got a top centre back there if things would just go right.
But I think that's another reason why Bailey doesn't start as much. I mean, I know he is injury prone, but he is similar to Sanchez in that aspect. He's very easy to just go and boot someone for no reason, or to try and do it. I
can't say I've seen him play in so long. He had those run of games where he was like man of the match, like a few games in a row, wasn't he? And he broke again. Højbjerg obviously pivotal. I think we will be playing with the kind of dream front three that was the end of Poch's era. So it'll be Højbjerg, Ndombele and Lo Celso. That's kind of what we seem to be doing. And it worked. It is good. It's a good midfield, especially now that Ndombele is trusted more. Kane and Son will obviously play. And it's such a difficult... It'll probably be Mora. And but then we've been playing Mora and Cam more. So it's so difficult. I don't know. The Mora and Cam has worked so well. He's probably been our player of the month, maybe, by playing in that Cam role, other than Kane, who's just been consistently putting them away. But whenever you talk about players of the month, you always just have to leave Kane out and then go for the next one below, usually. It's pretty much, I just hope we go in with the desire and the pace, because we've seen what it can do to you guys. And it won't be 6-1, obviously. It won't be anywhere near that dominant. But
6-2.
Hopefully Eric Lamela gets Martial sent off again.
Oh. Yeah.
Well,
if Martial's playing.
Just to turn that round, Adam, do you remember, obviously we were chatting about that, weren't we, quite early on in the season, about strikers, and I've just remembered that chat about Martial versus Werner that dominated the first bit of our podcast.
We were
still very close.
We were both arguing who's better, and now it's
Lamela.
Who's better, but who's worse? It's honestly, it's so peak, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm aware I've completely fumbled that how will Tottenham play answer.
You just can't figure it out.
You need to put a score on it, Josh.
Go on.
I see a 1-1. Let's say that.
I was going to say that. In terms of United's performance, we're in a good position where 95% of our players are back. Cavani's fit, but not doing great. I don't know what it is with strikers and United. It seems like they're non-existent in games, but I don't know why that is. But he's struggling to find his feet. But apart from that, we've got a full squad. I think Lindelof, well, he got man of the match against Granada, played great, put a nice ball in for Rashford, got an assist. I hope that he has one of his good games, not his bad games, because Kane could easily go out there and bully Lindelof if he wanted to, because that's the type of defender Lindelof is.
Same with Maguire. Maguire's gone from pretty much strength to strength since his incredibly shaky start.
Mm-hmm.
But it takes, English centre-backs, it's nothing to do with Maguire. English centre-backs, you take one moment and they crumble. And that's the thing, isn't it? Like, if Kane can get on top, that's the key. That's the key to how Tottenham is playing. If Kane and Son can get straight on top, avoid Wan-Bissaka, avoid Shaw, and just get on top of Lindelof and Maguire early, Tottenham win the game. The question is, will instead Son and Lamela completely run into Shaw and Wan-Bissaka for 90 minutes?
Yeah.
Well, I think as well, if you put more Cam that way and kind of try and foot the wings off and play quite central and have like that could be the key to this game.
Yes.
But saying that with the fullbacks, I think as a back four, we are incredibly strong. Shaw is having a worldie of a season somehow. You know, a couple of seasons ago, I'd seen him out the door, to be honest.
He's
with you,
England's
but-
best left back, without a shadow of a doubt.
And this is what I've been saying. But-
I nodded my head.
Yeah.
I mean,
me,
Chilwell
it's
scored that goal against Porto.
The Shaw
Then-
can defend and attack. Chilwell's a great crosser of the ball. What other left backs do we have?
I mean, Chilwell's the second best.
It's Rose and Trippier, because I know Trippier can play there.
Yeah, no, I think Chilwell's definitely
never
second
mind.
best. He's good, but Shaw this season especially he's just stepped up. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not
and
gonna argue
Bissaka's a great right back. He's not had a great game against Granada and Brighton. He give the ball away a lot, but he's still a solid defender, which is vital for games like this. I think that Pogba's coming back into it now. He just needs to keep playing like a lot of our players.
he wants his move, so he'll put a performance in.
I have nothing to say on that. But yeah, I think our strongest team would be that the original back four, Henderson, net. I think he'll start again. Pogba, one holding midfielder. We play two holding midfielders. We ain't gonna score. It's as simple as that. If we play,
I feel that, mate.
if we play, I think McTominay's not too bad. It's when we start Matic and Fred, it just doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you just don't want
McTominay's
them.
great box to box. I think they'll start next to each other.
Is
We
anyone
have
out?
the exact
Is
same problem.
anyone out?
I don't think there is, honestly.
That's decent.
Well,
So-
Bruno Fernandes penalty. Can't wait.
1-0,
but
Bruno.
going back to what I think will happen, I think it will be a cagey game. I think it'll be boring. I think it'll be Mourinho versus Ole all over.
It will
It's gonna
definitely be that. Yes.
He's
Yeah,
got
of
us
course.
there.
I think it's going to be 1-1.
Sorry. My opinion doesn't matter, but I think it is going to be boring and slow, and I don't know if I'll be able to watch it all.
It's
to
not
be
very
honest.
negative. I've just
You'll be too
realised.
busy watching Benteke scoring his fourth and wheeling away.
Oh, the dream.
Yeah,
Should we move
sound
on?
quite negative. Sorry, no.
Sorry.
I sound quite. I am pleased where we are. We're second in the league. You know,
Yeah, there is that, isn't there?
We're scraping. The only thing is we're scraping wins, and that needs to change. So hopefully we can beat them. But
It's not a fair It's not a fair thing to say because this isn't how football works. But it's one of those ones where in any other season you wouldn't be second. I'm not even saying that's to have a go. Like, if you know what I mean. Like, obviously we can't say that because football goes season to season. But United have had to rely on so many teams having an absolute shit show.
I mean, this last weekend alone, we dropped points crucially. Like, could have been terrible. You drew. Like, I think Everton lost. Just things started falling into place. We shouldn't be where we're at. You know what I mean? Like, this season's weird, man.
Yeah, but what you got to remember is West Ham shouldn't be fourth, Leicester shouldn't be third, City shouldn't be. City have got 74 points from 31 games. That's irregular in itself. Do you know what I mean? It's
not over the past few seasons. It's not. We've been talking 100-point seasons for most of the past few years.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. With 7 games left, what's that?
Oh, you're saying that as like that you'd
times-
think they'd be
7
better.
times 27, 73. So they could hit 100 if they win everything. 73, did
That's
you
a good
say?
point. But yeah, 74 they're on, sorry. But they've got
So they're going to hit
7
100.
games
If
left,
they
yeah.
win every game, they hit 100. 3 times 7, 14, 21. Sorry, 21. So 21, 74, 80, 95. 95 points.
Good mental maths there, Josh.
There you go. But yeah, I mean, all right, let's ignore City. You look at 2nd to 10th. We spoke about it before, but it's had a regular season for all of us. But I think we are the best of a shit bunch.
Yeah, I think,
And I think we can only,
that's
you've
fair.
got to remember as well. Sorry.
Let's end it there. Let's end the podcast.
Best of the
Fucking
shit, bro.
hell.
Yeah, I
We've
think that's
improved
fair.
every season since Ollie's been here. That's all I'm going to say. Jay, who've you got this weekend?
Yeah, I'm not going to dwell on this one too much. This was about your game, but we have Palace this weekend, and again, it just feeds into what a bit of the same thing we just said. Obviously, we had that terrible game against West Brom. Terrible game. Just I don't know what happened. I can't. It's unexplainable. It was just shite, and then we bounced back in a strong way. Yes, we should probably be beating Porto, but they were a good team. They were arguably better a lot. We fought against that. We won. So again, Chelsea are also another one of those teams that's weird, isn't it? Like Tuchel came in, we was unbeaten, but still we had weird draws here and there, like against Southampton and that. You still can't predict it. And then this weekend we have Palace, and it's every game's a must win really, because we want to keep pushing for the top four. You know, with Spurs right behind us, West Ham leapfrogging us, Liverpool can at any moment find a little bit of form. You know what I mean? Like we need to be winning these games. So yeah, no, it's just
Madrid
an important.
Are batter you in the next round.
Madrid
are going to batter you in the next round.
I wanted Madrid, and I said this right, and I'm going to regret it now because they fucked Liverpool up, didn't they?
I want to. The one thing we should probably stop speaking now because this pod's been chaos. But I do just want to give a special moment for the second Liverpool goal, just the little touch over Alisson.
The Real Madrid were just.
You saw much Trent's header, or
that was a different one. I think that was the third
about
one.
Trent's header, the back header.
No.
That was a Josh goal. That just in the wrong part of the pitch. Yeah, no. Listen, I Champions League is a different story. We need to win this game if we want to keep top four, keep pushing for that top four. It's very important. I think Tuchel was brought in with that kind of you need to keep us in the top four, that sort of thing, above anything else. So yeah, this weekend's important. I think we'll do it. I think we'll bounce back. I do think West Ham was a weird little blip, a massively horrible blip, but I just don't think that will repeat unless Benteke wants blood. West Brom, sorry. People knew what I meant. But yeah, that's what.
He's not wrong. West Ham is a fucking weird little blip that's last.
They are a weird little
again,
blip.
We need to end this, but the one thing that really, really impressed me about West Ham against Wolves this weekend is, did you notice the noticeable absentee?
No.
Declan Rice was not in that squad, and they still did it, and that surprised me because as soon as I saw Mark Noble on the team sheet against Wolves, I went, "Oh, this will be the game that Wolves strikes back."
Yeah, and but Wolves have been a shadow of what they were.
Still, for West Ham to do what they did without Declan Rice was impressive.
I want Rice so badly. I was not on the Rice hype train at the start of this season, but I want him so badly now. Just purely because, like,
you think like Rice will appear and just Frank Lampard just appear behind him like a spirit,
just on his shoulder. Hello, no, I just think he's like all of the Chelsea fan base are talking about Haaland for some reason. That's not where the problem's lie. As much as we've struggled to be clinical at points, we have good attackers. Our defence has been the same defence for the past couple of years. The fix this season was to bring in a 36-year-old, and as much as he's done, it's not a long-term fix. We need to be fixing up the defensive element of Chelsea.
You say this, Jay, but you've had the most clean sheets out of anyone in the past 15 games, and Werner keeps missing the net. So for you to turn around and say that your attack isn't the problem confuses me a little bit.
No, okay, that's very fair, right? But I think Tuchel's come in and has done a brilliant job, and he's put three at the back because of the defenders, not trusting them fully.
Yeah, I know. Yes, the system. And you go more defensive, which therefore means less chances get created, which therefore means that the few chances that Werner gets, he's less able to take them because he's shit and rusty. I get it, but
so thank you for making my points there. I just think, don't get me wrong, of course you'd have Haaland. If you're any footballing fan, you'd take Haaland, but I just think we've got some deeper rooted problems that we need to sort out. And
I'd take Haaland in a heartbeat. Our bench looks really cold at the moment when Kane's playing. And
the thing is, though, if Chelsea go and sign Haaland, that's probably it for other signings.
Yeah, that's another. There's it. Like if we went and got Haaland, like we wouldn't reinforce any other area. You would think so anyway. So
if City don't get Haaland after announcing that, if City go into next season and say, "You're right, Jesus, let's do this," then
they're getting Danny Ings, aren't they? They're getting Danny Ings.
Well, Pep's come out and said that he isn't looking for a striker. I mean, how much of that is true? Yeah. If Haaland doesn't go City, I'll be very, very surprised.
He's going City, or I would say Madrid, but Benzema's still like pretty good for them, so
Mbappe's
probably
going.
Barca.
No, well, he can't go to Barca. He can't.
Why?
Because they are the most
They're not
bankrupt club.
Barcelona.
They're the
Yeah, that's
most-
just yeah.
They're the
I
most
forget about
bankrupt
that.
club in Europe, and
Yeah,
Benzema is class, but I think he's 34.
but if Messi goes, that frees up a lot of money for him.
No, it doesn't, because he's not going to be sold.
His wages. They just get rid of
Doesn't
the
matter.
wages.
Their wages, they're like billions in debt.
Yeah, I know. That's fair. That is fair. But I just Real Madrid. I don't know. Benzema still. I mean, I guess Benzema's getting old. Get Haaland in, work alongside Benzema, come forward. It's got. I think it's one of them. So I don't think he'll go PSG, and I don't think he will come to us. And where else would he go other than that?
Bayern be the ultimate scumbaggery, like Bayern, like
Yeah.
Dortmund have a really
I mean,
good player, and then Bayern just go, "Fuck you, we've got Upamecano and Haaland, fuck everyone."
Yeah.
And then everyone else just goes,
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it here because we're
Yeah.
gonna just keep
Time of
going.
death. Time of death.
Time of death.
We've had a good chat though. I've enjoyed this. Like,
Bang
first
on
time
night.
us three haven't done this in a while. Like it's either been me and one of you.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Listen, just say it as it is, Jay. It's been you and Josh.
Yeah, I mean there was that one me and you did, Adam. To be fair, but yeah, you're right. Adam's ditching us for his
Adam
musical
pretends
career.
he's busy a lot, and like we're all busy. We're all busy.
Listen,
how
I
life
love you to
works.
bits. I love doing this, but I sometimes can't find the time for it. But that's a discussion off camera, innit?
Yeah, to be fair. Right, thank you for watching, everyone. I'm gonna end it here. See you in a bit, Josh. Everyone, make sure you tell your dads about the pod because you know what, YouTube didn't tell any dads, and this podcast has struggled. So tell your dads, everyone. Love you.